us, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Firebase. Now this is not really their logo, this is their logo, but that doesn't look as cool, so we're going to go with this one. So, what exactly is Firebase? Firebase is a software as a service business that offers three main features. Now the most important feature that I'm going to be talking about mostly for this talk is its real-time database. They also have two other auxiliary features, which is its authentication system and hosting. They allow you to host web apps. So let's dive right into the real-time database. Firebase plays really nicely with others. They have built-in and official support via libraries for React, Ember, Ionic, Backbone, and Angular. Now, since you guys all know Angular, I'm going to be doing a live coding portion using the Angular Fire dependency. So before I do that, I just want to lay down some foundational information about that. So as you guys all know, Angular, it's kind of famous for its two-way data binding. It binds the view layer, with the model layer. So any changes or fluctuations that a user might do in the view, in the HTML, that's immediately reflected in the model and vice versa. Now when you inject your Angular Fire dependency into your Angular app, you actually get a three-way data binding with the persistence layer. And this is happening over sockets in real time. So this is where really all the super powerful and interesting stuff that you can do happens. So let's talk a little bit about about this persistence layer. So the Firebase database is a schemaless database. It's NoSQL, similar to MongoDB. In fact, Firebase is actually built on top of Mongo. And all data in Firebase is stored as JSON. You cannot store arrays in Firebase, but I will touch more on that when we get to the coding portion, and I'll explain about that. So one of the other features that Firebase very nicely provides for us is authentication. Now, it can integrate very nicely with your own current authentication system. So let's say you're running a node server and you're using a library like Passport. You can just pass the token along to Firebase, and it will play really nicely with their security rules for their CRUD operations. But if you don't already have your own authentication system set up, they make it very, very simple to set up an email and password authentication system. And they also allow you to do OAuth with Facebook, Twitter, Google, and GitHub by simply just copy-pasting your credentials and your client secret on the Firebase website. Lastly, they have hosting. So similar to Heroku, they provide you with a command line tool where you just basically type Firebase deploy, and all of a sudden your web app is online along with your database. So that's really nice. That's pretty much it. This was just a very brief overview, but I wanted to get into some live coding so you guys can feel comfortable and just start bootstrapping apps as soon as possible using Firebase. So right here, I have prepared for us the world's smallest Angular app. There is absolutely nothing in here, just some bare bones HTML. If you can see, I have a script just for AngularJS, another one for Firebase, and another one for the Angular Fire library. And I have a controller right here called app controller and my index file for my JS where we're going to be programming our JavaScript. So first, what we're going to be building right now is just a really simple real-time messenger app, and I just want to show you how simple this is. So first, to get us started, I'm just going to copy and paste some HTML in here. So all I copy and pasted, I just have an unordered list right here with, I'm ng repeating over message and messages. I have an ng model of message.txt. And if you see here, ng change and ng click, I'm using two methods called $save and $remove. These are two basically CRUD, they perform CRUD operations and they're provided to us by the Angular Fire library. And whenever we're manipulating data on the front end, if we just use these methods that they provide for us, it'll just stay in sync with the back end. And then over here, we just have an add message that I'm going to add on the scope. So let's get the coding. We are just going to first inject Firebase. I already have the script tag in my HTML. And since we're going to be dealing with a Firebase array, I'm going to inject a Firebase array into my controller. Now, if you saw in my HTML, I'm going to need to have a messages on the scope. So scope.messages is equal to, I'm going to use that injected Firebase array. And I'm just going to pass it a reference, this reference right here, I'm going to have to define, which is a link to the database. So I already went ahead on the Firebase website and created a blank database. It's very simple to do. So you use this link right here that you can't see, but once I copy and paste it, you will be able to. So I'm setting the reference, I'm creating the reference to that Firebase URL. So scope.messages is basically going to be all of the information in that exact URL that it's getting from Firebase. Now I just have to add one more thing to complete this chat app, which is the function scope.addMessage. This does not take any parameters. All it does is scope.messages.$add. Again, this is one of the methods provided to us by Firebase. And what my HTML is expecting is a text with new message text. Now, if I save this and save my index file HTML and I go back to my to Chrome, if I add a message, hello 1601, nothing happened. Okay, let's see if anything happened in the database. Nope, it's still null. That means there's a problem here. These files are both saved. Let's see. So I have a backup. I probably just made a typo. I'm just going to copy and paste this stuff in here. There you go. So I can type messages in here, and as I'm typing them, they instantly get reflected on your web app that Firebase provides you, and you can see these in real time, and you can even edit them. And if I fix my typo here and I say hello 1601 and press enter, this will actually have been updated right here in this message, and I could even delete messages. So that's just a very simple overview on how easy it is to just do all of this in real time. And if I connect a different connection to this same IP address, it will see all those updates in real time. So that's my presentation. I hope you guys all feel very comfortable just going into Firebase, digging into the documentation, and just bootstrapping apps using it. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah.